How y'all doing, man?
24/7 roadside assistance. 4 years or 50,000 miles, bumper to bumper, limited warranty. 5 years, a VW car net remote access. And for 6 years, you won't have paid any interest. Down the road, you'll be grateful you bought a Volkswagen today.
Our prices beat Best Buy and online guaranteed. Plus, we double the Samsung warranty, and you get delivery and installation installed by pros on your schedule. Not even Amazon can do that. The big screen store.
Hi, this is Kenny the Jet Smith, and you're watching.
Well, PBS this morning, it's time to bring you some of the stories that we call Top of the Day all the time. It's my favorite part. The story we'd like to share with each other and with all of you. And Tony, you're up first.
All right, I'm very excited to do this one. One Bay Area hospital reports a possible record-setting baby boom. In just 32 hours, 4 sets of twins were delivered at the Packard Children's Hospital that's in Stanford, Colorado. Officials believe it is the largest number of newborn twins the hospital has ever cared for at one time. And officials there say that the odds of having 4 sets of twins in a row like this in such a short amount of time, just about 1 in a million. 1 in a million. And some accident in that neighborhood. I took a look at checking the California lottery when they were out there. You have on a flag, it's up to 101 million. Here's my story. A famous piano man was caught on video giving an
My show is delayed by like 30 seconds. Okay, I hear you, bro. Relax. Got the sauce like a spring. Get your money right and pay me. That's right.
The camera looks a little cockeyed, but that's
Today, of course, we're ready to lost.
Behind the scenes, women
Easy slim, yes sir. Easy fast, easy fast, nigga. That's like chemistry, Angel. So I'm talking about putting this shit up.
So the thing, this is what I was really excited about. The latest one is called When This Is Over. With you and Jane, who I just recently introduced to Lindsay, I really like it. But I think he is. I mean, he's one of the few black people in country music. So he caught my eye that day I heard his voice.
Okay, alright, fuck it.
I heard his voice before I realized what color he was. I just responded because he was so good. And reached out to me to participate on this song. And it was such an honor to have him already a fan. I believe that the album is the country or something. He has a number of artists on the album too. Johnny Price on there, Nervous Records, young artists, Nikki Dyke, female artist, and young Chris.
Yeah, we just had our recently.
Ricky,
But this is the thing about this song. Yeah, we just had it on. I don't know if it's about COVID or it's just going through hard times. I said, I hope these hard times make me better, not just older when this is over. But we were introducing this active, killer, COVID survivor. So I really want to bring people up to date about how they're feeling.
I think that part of the thing that I feel so grateful for is that we still have artists studying music today, so Jim's on and what I have learned is that even though we have artists that
Hey, you. Please, look at Mello. He here to lead too.
Yeah, you know, Tom,
please, I'm at 98.5.
I really want to get your take on this. You know, it has become such a political,
So why you still up if you're tired?
potatoes in this country.
This was recommended by Drummy himself, the Silverhead Demon. If this shit is ass, it's Drummy King for life. This shit better be fire, nigga.
Is that my right?
Alexa, turn up the volume. Let me clear my bags.
chat. Let's
What do you
go.
say to that? If someone
Thinking
told you
otherwise,
an issue or something that people are coming up against. To me, it's sort of like brushing twice a day is good for your health, and you do that. So why wouldn't you wear a mask because it's good for your health? I just. But
Yeah, you know what?
I don't know. I mean, until someone gets sick, and what?
You know, the mask is uncomfortable, but you know what else is uncomfortable? Dying. So let me ask you this. There's a Beatles song that says, will you still need me? Will you still feed me? When I'm 64. Tom Hanks here did a video about I'm 64. Will you still feed him? Will you still feed him now that he's 64?
Well, I think he's 64 and 10 days old or something like that. I don't know what the date is today, but I still, so far, when I looked at my watch this morning, I still looked at and needed him, and I will see him, because saving precious time. It's like from the
Tell him we said, hey, congratulations, Rita. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks everybody for listening. I really appreciate it.
All right, stay safe. But the thing is really hard. So if we've seen a little off, it's because she and I are on a big delay. We think you got the conversation. It is now 8:40, time to check the local weather.
It's a very lucky Friday morning. I mean, we'll have birthday. We've had some isolated shower and storm activity. And looks like there's some snowstorms this afternoon as we get back into the 90s after taking a day off yesterday after day 3 of 90 plus. 89 by lunchtime, so mid and upper 80s by lunchtime with low, even peaking 90s this afternoon with scattered showers and storms. Most of south and east of DC. Hotter this weekend, 96 Saturday and Wednesday storm, and even hotter Sunday, with highs in the upper 90s.
So just recommend spoken advice, the Bible.
SUV 8000. We're selling 8,000 vehicles in 50 days. We're offering some of the best deals. Give us American Heart Association.
It's why every day we look to connect each food with the people of our community. It's why we partner with over 50 family-owned farms to provide fresh local products. We source fresh, 100% sustainable seafood straight from Chesapeake Bay. At Charlie, we're committed to our community and providing you and your family with the best products from a place we call home. The Lewis, our Charlie.
Summer is here. Bring on the epic savings at the Hyundai Epic Summer Sales Event. Right now, find a great deal on every SUV and sedan. More 2020 IIHS Top Sales Award from Honda or Toyota. Plus, get complimentary banking for 3 years and America's best warranty. Hurry in and save at the Hyundai Epic Summer Sales Event.
Get 0% APR with no payments for 90 days on the Santa Fe or Tucson or get up to 32 savings. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
Rolex diamond, mini put rock and styling, buy around Rolex diamond, like diamond, Rolex diamond. Like Robin, mini put rock and styling.
Now get through on us.
Like Robin, mini put rock and styling. Like Batman. None of them, just none of them, just left church, I'm wildin', probably around Rolex diamonds, Rolex diamonds, she don't wanna leave, she vibing, I just left church, I'm wildin', Philly tip flops and styling, heat up, heat it, no sit, riding up. No, I never. Something about me to tell you I will. If you not my friend, I don't fake it, I never. Done rappers and Mason Margiela. Swags and chains on top of my sweater. This is success of my latest endeavor. When I come around, I guess they not together. Making it better. She wanna come and play Jenga, I let her. She from the hood, I can take her wherever. I ain't making no statements. I bought the cash, I ain't making no payments. I gave it to niggas and they never made it, except for the hood and the ghetto and state. Lawyers check it. Man, hype connected. 2 grand hands, I know I'm protected. I'm a dope, Lord of my shepherd. Like Robin, Rolex diamonds. Give me some blocks and styling. 5 grand Rolex diamonds. Like Robin, Rolex diamonds. Like Robin, give me good blocks and styling.
In our series, The New Normal, we look at how the pandemic is dramatically changing our everyday lives. This morning, we're focusing on the local live music. Concerts, tours, and music festivals around the world have been called off over fears of spreading the coronavirus.
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
To provide live entertainment in a socially distanced way. As Mark Strassman shows us, you don't even have
Our cameras caught the Clippers arriving at their building and coming through the tunnel with a lot of style and confidence. And the game arrival, sponsored by Express. Dress like a pro. The beaches of Santa Monica and Venice, not too far from our setting today, the Staples Center in Los Angeles. Welcome, fans. Thanks for joining us for this Friday night edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan. We've got Chris Webber and Greg Anthony with us. And from the sideline, we'll be hearing from David Aldridge. So let's take a look at the Charlotte starting lineup. Washington out there with Bismack Biyombo. Then there's Terry Rozier. Then it's Bridges. And it's Graham in at the 2-guard spot. And for the Clippers, Ivica Zubac is out there with Morris. Then it's Paul George. Then it's Patrick Beverley. And it's Leonard in at the 3, the small forward. You know, Chris, it seems like every year the NBA gets a little more athletic. Talk about how that aspect of the game has changed.
I was 6'9" and I played power forward and sometimes center. Kevin Durant is 6'11" and he plays the 2-guard. That's how the game is changing. It's no more big guys go to that end, little guys go to that end. Now you have to be a skilled basketball player. You have to be able to shoot, dribble, and pass at every position. The way of just the one-sided guy, that is gone out the game. That's a dinosaur, and I love it. You have to be more athletic, definitely, but the skill set, you got to make sure you can play basketball, and that way, no matter what size you are, 5'9" to 7 foot, you have to be equal in skill, and I love that.
Wow, I do too. And it's Graham missing. And so George will bring it up for the Clippers. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. Well, Coach Borrego and I got a chance to talk for a bit. He said efficiency is a buzzword around the league, and that's Kawhi Leonard. He doesn't turn it over, doesn't take bad shots. He can give you 30 and never force a thing. Kevin, that doesn't sound like an easy assignment.
Thank you, David.
Yeah, first year for Coach Borrego as a head coach, but he had a solid start. He's from the Popovich coaching tree. He was given the reins of the Hornets, and he was tasked with improving their offense.
Here's Washington, and he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. That one, I'm George. And with Borrego as coach, offense certainly was more fluid.
Yeah, Borrego, he stresses ball movement. He encourages his players to look for early offense, more spacing in the system that benefits the whole roster.
You know, I know that's a crazy thing that a lot of people should be like slave
That free throw, no good.
Yeah, and the Hornets, they'll be one of the more disciplined teams you'll find in this league. I mean, they keep mistakes to a minimum on both sides of the ball. That's a big part of why the Hornets are tough to play.
And the second free throw, good. And Chris, for the Hornets, as we know, their coach Borrego preaches preparation.
Well, yeah, and it shows it up in the stats, Kevin. I mean, they're the best in taking care of the ball. The team does not take silly fouls.
And the dunk by Zubac.
And the feed from George couldn't be better. The timing, the placement, everything about that dish was pinpoint.
Here's Graham, covered by Morris, and it's sent back by George. Beverly looking around. On the wing, Morris. Here's Zubats, and there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. And the foul goes against Charlotte. The Clippers shooting their first free throws tonight. The first trip to the stripe in this one.
And typically a strength of theirs, 79% on the season.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That one is off. Big group substitution here for the Clippers. Montrezl Harrell, he's checked in for Marcus Morris. Landry Shamet comes in for Kawhi Leonard. Williams, he's checked in for George. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Patrick Beverly. The Hornets also changing it up. Zeller, he's checked in for Bismack Biyombo. Dwayne Bacon comes in for Miles Bridges. And it's Batum in for Rozier. And he sinks the second. The Hornets have gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. Here's Graham. He's guarded by Williams. Graham dishes to Zeller. And he uses the glass on the layup.
He has great body control for a big man. Zeller takes the hit, but keeps on finishing.
Clippers have gone 2 of 5 here, making 40% so far to start out the game. Now here's Williams. And he banks in the layup.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Yeah, very little resistance. I mean, you had to bring much faster help than that.
Here's Graham. Zeller inside, working on Zubats. Shot by Zeller, no good. Here's Shamet. Hornets with the rebound. Here's Bacon. Up top, Graham. Tries from 16, and that shot was up in time, but doesn't go in. And so the first quarter is in the books. Clippers lead by 4. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports. And if you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter in this one. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Clippers?
You got to credit their defense, communicating, rotating, making plays on the ball.
No question. It's been stifling thus far, preventing that offense from establishing any kind of rhythm.
Here's when it comes to playing alongside another big guy. I'm sure you have to think of ways to complement each other. Not just him, but it's got to be a two-way street.
Yeah, but it starts with chemistry. It starts with friendship. It starts with wanting to win. And I've played with 2 big guys that come to mind that made me better. Juwan Howard there in Washington, just looking at him throwing a hoop, I would miss 2-3 shots in a row, and we'd look and he'd say, I'll get you an easy one, big fella. And I would do the same thing to him. We're playing with a guy like Vlade that would say, hey, wait a minute, Bibby or Peja didn't get a shot, set a screen for them, and he would pass it to them, and then the next play say, now it's your turn, you're open, because they're going to go over there to those guys. We already tricked the defense ahead. So guys that are smart, guys that can pass, and also guys that will say, hey, man, you look a little tired. Let's switch. I'll check Shaq this play.